Hi, welcome to my Day 3 CKA Daily Recap. In today's session, we will go over the Kubernetes services, namespaces, and kubectl fundamentals. What are the three Kubernetes service types? A cluster IP service is for internal use only. Think of pod-to-pod communication. A node port service extends the cluster IP service functionality to expose a service via node IP and port. A load balancer service extends the prior further with an external IP address. Now, what are Kubernetes namespaces used for? Kubernetes namespaces are logical partitioning of cluster resources for isolation, resource quotas, and access control scoping. What is the difference between imperative and declarative kubectl usage? Imperative commands are fast and good for one-off tasks, while declarative YAML is repeatable and version controlled. However, it is better suited for production use cases. What is the dry run output in YAML form pattern used for? It is a kubectl option to generate a YAML skeleton without applying it, which you can redirect to a file, edit, and then apply. Essentially an exam speed technique. Now, in our next slide, we're going to cover the other topics that I went over today as part of my Udemy learning for CKA Prep. So in this one, we'll cover scheduling, labels, selectors, and node placement strategies. So what is manually scheduling and when would you use it? Setting a node name directly in the pod specification to bypass the scheduler entirely. Used when you need to force a pod onto a specific node without relying on scheduler logic. Why are labels and selectors important in Kubernetes? Labels are the primary mechanism that connects Kubernetes resources to each other. Services use selectors to find pods, and replica sets use them to track owned pods. Almost every resource in the cluster depends on label matching to function correctly. What is the difference between labels and selectors? Labels are key value pairs attached to Kubernetes objects, while selectors are how resources query and find objects using those labels. What is the difference between taints and tolerations? Taints are applied to nodes to repel pods. Tolerations are applied to pods to allow scheduling onto tainted nodes. Taints and tolerations control repulsion and attraction. What is the difference between node selectors and node affinity? Node selectors are simple single label equality matching. Node affinity is more expressive, supporting operators like in, not in, exist, and does not exist, as well as hard or soft scheduling rules. While these are some of the topics that I've covered today in this small presentation, of course there's more that I learned, but the purpose of this session today is to keep it simple, short, the message of my status. So with that, that's day 3, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks. Goodbye.